So I know that you guys are seeing Kendal's beautiful face and heard her speak already, but for those of you that do not know who Kendal is, let me just please give her a proper introduction. The first time that I had any interaction with Kendal was on a Zoom with corporate. We were doing weekly calls, and Kendal, it was the first time that I saw her, that I got to meet her, and I knew right away that she is the real deal and was absolutely a blessing to our company, Lurra Life, there in South Africa. She helps some of us in the US as well. She is just an incredible, amazing woman, full of nothing but integrity. And the thing I love the most about her, besides her kind heart, is she does what she says she is going to do. Always, no fail. She gets it done. Okay, thank you. She is also responsible for facilitating and decorating our beautiful South Africa. We have some great information. These people. With us today. Kendal, can you hear me? You may have accidentally been muted.
There we are. Thank you. You were also accidentally muted, but thank you so much for that very generous introduction. It's a privilege working with both you and Boomy and all the teams, actually, all over the show. I'm learning who's who in the zoo, as they say. I'm learning to meet new amazing people. I'm learning to hear their vision and their dreams and their hopes come true. I'm learning to, I suppose, facilitate incredible journeys over obstacles and triumph. And triumph is what it's about. So I have a lot of experience in MLM, and I'm very excited to be part of a big build for Lurra Life, as they say, a big build. So I wanted to just make a few announcements for South Africa before we hit the ground running with product. And
wonderful.
One of them is that we have an incentive from October through December, where if you enroll five new recruits, you get $50. If you do 10, you get $100. So that's worth pushing for. We obviously want to grow the team, so this is an incentive to really just get out there and incentivize growth. You do, however, have to have a $79.95 spend. So that's a minimum for it to qualify you for the $50 for 5 recruits. And if you do 10 or 15, it just keeps going, okay? So that's where we're at. I'm going to frame tonight's class with what I say is a deep dive into the ingredients in Luraslim and in Drink to Shrink formulation. I also would like to talk a little bit about some leadership attitudes that have helped teams grow and continue to support teams effectively move forward. Okay, so I welcome all of you. There's lots of you on this call. Please feel free to reach out to me as well. If you've got questions after this call, you have my number. Just WhatsApp me and we can get on a chat. I'm more than happy to support any of you with your personal questions. Some of you have questions around health, perhaps, can somebody take this while they're pregnant, or those kinds of questions can be answered as well, or should be answered as well. I do want to caution the market to take note of one thing. When we do a deep dive into the ingredients in terms of our product range, this is for you so that you really are empowered. When you meet a new person, to overwhelm them with all this information is not necessarily the best route, okay? If they have questions and they ask for more detail, that's your cue. That's when you can say, okay, I'm willing to share. And that's really important to have that kind of outlook. You're not going in there to try and be a smarty pants and give all the chemistry behind every ingredient in the product, but you do need to have enough knowledge to know what this product does. So I'm going to start off with the new hero. It's going to be formulated in South Africa and shared with the rest of the world. And it's a slightly different formulation from the one that's currently in the market. It is in fact, oh, sorry, I don't know what's happening there. I've got my photos popping up. It is in fact a, sorry, I don't know why. Can you still see me? No.
Yes, we can see you just fine. And we're not seeing the photos on this end.
Yeah, sorry. It's so strange how my computer's updating and doing its own nonsense while I'm speaking. Okay, so let me just say, I don't know what's happening here. Sorry, it's because we don't have power that I've connected. I've hotspotted my phone and it's now decided it's updating while I'm busy doing a class. Okay. At the end of the day, this formulation is a new improved formulation, and I'd like to speak to the ingredients on this box because they will soon be reaching the US. All right. I just need a thumbs up from everyone. You can still hear me, right? Just lost a bit of power.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So in Luraslim, let's start by just telling everybody how we use this product. So you get a little box of 30 capsules, and you're going to use one capsule half an hour before breakfast and half an hour before lunch. So 2 capsules a day. So you should be going through 2 boxes a month. That's what would be considered your powerful tool in appetite suppressing. And yeah, it's simple. They come in a blister pack like this, and you're just going to pop them out and swallow them with a little bit of water. So it's a very simple exercise. If anyone could, yeah, just mute themselves. The first ingredient I'd like to talk to is alpha GPC. Alpha GPC is an incredible ingredient. It stands for L-alpha glycerol phosphoryl choline, and it's a natural choline compound found in the brain. You also find choline in egg yolk. So, you know, by eating eggs, we up our choline content in our body, and it is one of those incredible neurotransmitters that allows for oxygenation in the brain and blood flow. So it is what they call a parasympathetic acetylcholine precursor. It's a mouthful, so you don't need to know that, but what it does do is it allows for flexibility in the brain, so neuroplasticity and suppleness, and this helps prevent dementia and Alzheimer's. So why would this be in a product that is about fat burning? Well, it's because when the brain's more supple and there's more oxygen and there's more blood flow, the metabolism can do its job more efficiently. So it's quite simple in that regard. Alpha GPC is used for mental acuity and sharps, and for memory, and for learning. So these are some of the special properties associated with alpha GPC. Alpha GPC is its short name. You heard how long it was. And the other way in which we get access or have access to choline is in ACC. You know, sometimes when you have a cold or a flu and you use a mucolytic, and you would use something that effervesces in a glass of water and you drink it so that you can feel better, that's basically thinning the blood and allowing blood to flow in the brain, almost like an aspirin. This is none of those things. It's basically something of a brain nutrient that the body uses in order to oxygenate the brain and the cells. So alpha GPC is a kind of hero ingredient in this particular combination or blend. The next ingredient that I think is really, really, really important to acknowledge is dandelion root. Oh my goodness, dandelion root reduces cholesterol, blood pressure. It's an anti-inflammatory. And before I go on, there's a big focus on ingredients that take inflammation away from the body. And I'm just going to frame that for you, because where there's inflammation, there's depression. And where there's inflammation, there's inability to absorb nutrition. When we are demineralized or don't have enough nutrition, and we have an added inflammatory response in the body, our pH is destabilized. And when our pH is destabilized, we become acidic. And when we become acidic, we become diseased, or we feel burdened. And our body's unable then to detox and work efficiently. So when we can use ingredients like dandelion root daily, we're allowing our body to lower the inflammation that's happening in our system. And inflammation is a big problem all round. So where we can manage inflammation, we're helping the body systemically and not just for weight loss. It is a massive antioxidant, and an antioxidant is something that really supports the body's ability to keep the body clean. So it interferes with the chemical reaction that takes place when we eat bad things, junk food, when we don't look after our bodies, and there are a lot of free radicals roaming around in the system. Antioxidants allow for the body to protect against free radical damage. So it's important to take something like dandelion root because it is ultimately something that inspires, it's a big word, apoptosis. And apoptosis is preventing cancer. It's basically when cells are able to self-implode and die so that we can have new cells and have body repair. So dandelion root prevents chronic disease, reduces cholesterol, manages blood sugar, blood pressure, and obviously supports the immune system in this regard. So I also want you to listen very carefully to some of the words that I'm using. I'm using words like reduces, it can boost the immune system. Boost is a good word. Support is a good word. We don't usually speak about product when we share it with a new person and say, this is going to cure your fat problem, or this is going to cure your blood pressure. Nothing's a cure because everybody's body is so unique, and we require a very personalized approach to healthcare. So it's usually quite systemic and usually quite holistic. We will take health, we know from Lurra Life, my 10K life, we need to walk, we need to breathe, we need to drink more water, we need to do a number of things. We need to eat clean food, and we need to take these supplements to support our body's processes. So dandelion root is a big gun in this formulation. The next thing in this formulation that's worth mentioning is green coffee bean extract. Green coffee bean extract, it's not something you're going to go to the shop and order. You're not going to say, I'll have a green coffee, thank you. We normally have, Arabic coffee or something like that. And one of the trainings going forward, I'm going to talk to you a bit more in depth about our adaptogenic coffee, our Lurra coffee. Okay, not today though. We don't have too much time. So the green tea extract is a well-known superfood. So this is where our supplements get really exciting. They're not just a cocktail of ingredients to help you lose weight. They also have superfood benefits, and they help you other organs and other parts of the body at the same time. So green coffee bean, assists you with blood sugar regulation and weight loss, and is also a natural antioxidant. The green tea, is our superfood, and it's well known because it contains something called L-Theanine. So if you've got a notebook, or you need a notebook, L-Theanine is a really powerful amino acid, and what it does is it allows for calm in the body. And this is important. A lot of weight loss products make us feel jittery or shaky. This particular blend doesn't have that kind of negative effect on the body. L-Theanine, which is so key as a key component to green tea, is a powerful amino acid, like I said, that supports the nervous system primarily. So when we are calm and our body's not in a state of overwhelm, we are absolutely able to process our nutrition efficiently. I'm actually just going to go backwards. Before I talk about any more ingredients, I want to explain two fundamental things about how we digest our food, or how we take in nutrition. And this is kind of a formative or important foundation before we talk about weight loss products, for this reason, that when you eat food, your body is told to digest and separate all that nutrition and take it into different parts of the body to nourish organs and and get to work. Sometimes we're unable to do that because we have compromised organs, or our digestion isn't efficient, or we have a sluggish bowel and we're constipated, or whatever it might be. And there are two ways in which we need to look at how we digest food. I'm going to talk about physical digestion. We physically digest things, and we metaphysically digest things too. So when you're unable to experience the world in a calm way, we experience overwhelm and we get stomach ache and we can't process information. When you can't process the way in which you experience the world or digest your food efficiently, you are in a state of panic, and your stomach is tight and your being is tense and you are inflamed. People might even say you are allergic to life, okay? And this state of being is what a lot of people who come to the business find themselves in. They have an issue, they can't digest their food, they have discomfort, they're gaining weight, they're uncomfortable in their body, and they're unable to effectively nourish their body. So food is your first point, water is another point, walking and exercise is another point. And then, of course, we have our drink to shrink and Luraslim. So Luraslim, these ingredients are going to help reset the body so that you can absorb food more efficiently, but also lowering blood pressure and blood sugar at the same time. So there are a whole lot of side benefits, not side effects, but side benefits to this product. And that's an exciting point to talk to your market about, is these side benefits. So the next ingredient I want to talk to you about is caffeine anhydrous. It's a type of caffeine that it's made without water. Basically, it is from the seeds and leaves of the coffee plant, and it's extracted and dehydrated, and it forms a concentrated white powder. And this concentrated form of caffeine is very bioavailable to the body, and it's super, super energizing. So you might even find that Luraslim gives you a little more energy, which is a good thing. When we've got more oxygen available to the cells in the body and we have more efficiency happening in the organs, you're going to have a bit more energy. And with that, hopefully you will walk more and enjoy life more, and the weight will just drop off, okay? The next ingredient I want to chat to you about is L-Tyrosine. A lot of these you've heard about. If you look at the back of the box, you're going to go through these and go, oh, I know L-Tyrosine. It's another amino acid. And L-Tyrosine is really important because it helps the body build proteins, and proteins repair the body, okay? It also helps the body produce enzymes, and enzymes help you digest your food. So L-Tyrosine is really, really important. L-Tyrosine also helps with thyroid hormones. How many of your weight loss issues are associated with a slow thyroid that's not doing its job properly? And you'll go to the doctor and they'll put you on all sorts of thyroid medications, when actually you probably need to have a little bit more iron in your diet to open your T3 and T4 door in your thyroid. You also need to wake up in the morning and stimulate your thymus, your gland just below your thyroid, to reset your limbic system. So this is something you can do in the morning. It sounds kind of funny, but you can wake up and do a bit of Tarzan, okay? Oh, I'm the king of my jungle, because it helps the body reset itself for the morning. Then you're going to have your drink to shrink, and you're going to pop your Luraslim capsule in with a glass of water half an hour before your meals, and you're going to start to see the benefits. So the next amino acid that is listed on this ingredient pack is L-theanine, and we spoke a little bit about L-theanine from green tea extract, but they put a bit of extra L-theanine in this mix as well, simply because L-theanine is super, super calming, and it helps the body relax. And when you're in a state of panic, you can't lose weight because you're stressed. So when the body is able to manage its anxiety and your adrenals are calmed and supported, your body can then find middle again and reset itself on a metabolic route and start to lose weight. So the ingredients in this combo are quite artfully selected. It's quite a masterful blend, actually. Each ingredient is chosen specifically to work in concert with one another. So I use that word because it's such a beautiful word. When we've got a combination of ingredients that work like a concert, we have every ingredient is an instrument in that orchestra. And when every ingredient plays perfectly with the other ingredients, we have a perfect song, right? That should play through the body. When they don't, we have what we say is a cacophony, a big noise. And we don't want to put a noise in our body. We would like a perfect song to play through our body, okay? So that it can retune all the organs and our metabolism appropriately. So L-theanine is designed to relax us. And that's a very important component of a good appetite suppressant. It's not one that wires you crazy. It gives you energy, but makes you feel calm. That's the benefit. And that's the difference between this product and other products you might find on the market that make you feel a little too wired. All right. Now, the next ingredient, there are 15 ingredients. We're on number 8. Okay. The next ingredient is guarana. You've heard of guarana. Guarana is an energizer. It is an antioxidant and it helps with focus. So you don't want to be losing weight and sort of be aimless. You still want to be able to perform your daily functions and help with your mental acuity. Oh, I love that word. You're going to be walking around and going, how's your mental acuity with Luraslim? Okay, because we all want to be sharp. And your sharps, your mental sharps are so important to your everyday function. When we feel sharp, we feel like doing more. So this obviously also helps with motivation, guarana. Guarana is an ingredient that doesn't just boost metabolism, energy, and focus. It also assists with diarrhea and constipation. Now, you might say to me, why? How can an ingredient help with diarrhea and constipation? You either help one or the other. Unfortunately and fortunately, nature is so clever. And plants have this remarkable quality of being able to modulate. And I'm going to use this big word because a lot of medications suppress or squash symptoms and suppress the immune system. And some substances that we eat or take can actually excite the immune system and excite the body and actually stimulate it. So when we've got a stimulating or suppressing action, we're swinging. Our body is just swinging. It needs to find middle. A modulator helps the body find middle. And guarana is one of those ingredients that helps the body find its middle. It's balance. And everybody's looking for balance, right? So balance is so important, and certain ingredients in nature help the body find balance. And this is one of them. So if you have diarrhea, it's going to help self-regulate. If you have constipation, it's going to help your body find middle and be more, more normal. All right. Turmeric is the 9th ingredient in this Luraslim blend. And turmeric, we know, in curry, we eat this yellow powder in all our stew and our foods. But what we don't realize is that turmeric is actually a root that is under the ground. And like a lot of amazing blends for health, root oils and root powders are profound in anti-inflammation. They are a big gun in strong anti-inflammatory action in the body. So for you, if you're worried about inflammation and pain and discomfort, and even if you're feeling depressed and low, you know that you need to up your anti-inflammatories, your natural anti-inflammatories, and turmeric is one of your big guns. So I would look to turmeric simply because it also helps with digestion and respiratory issues. So I'm going to go backwards a little bit. This is a bit of a side but when we are struggling with our health, we go to eat chicken soup and we pop things like turmeric or ginger in our chicken soup, right? To restore our health. Root oils and root powders are designed to stimulate a productive heat in the body. And a productive heat helps stimulate your metabolism as well. So while it takes inflammation away, it also supports the metabolism. So things like pepper, ginger, and turmeric are really, they're hot, they're fiery spices, right? And they create that productive heat in the body to cool the body down. So there's the irony again. They are hot. They're hot to cool the body down. okay, to calm the body down. So this is a really, really great tool in this particular blend. The next ingredient I want to talk to you about is black pepper. All right, the black pepper is also an anti-inflammatory. And this is also an aside, just like in chicken soup, when you are not feeling well, you would add some pepper to your turmerics and your gingers, because it helps with cell structure. So your structures, your cells, when they're not well, are all flaccid and soft. And when you're doing much better, they're strong and turgid and can absorb oxygen and nutrition and do their job. So we want something like pepper because it also supports elimination of toxins, because when a cell is healthy, it can eliminate the junk inside it that it doesn't need. So we want to use black pepper in conjunction with turmeric as well, because it makes those root powders more bioavailable to the body. All right. What black pepper also does is it's an expectorant. It helps get rid of mucus. And we wouldn't think this, but when your bowel or your gut, your colon is full of mucus, it creates an environment for parasites and toxins to really take hold and to live there. When we can get rid of mucus, we actually clean up the ability of our gut and all the little cilia inside the gut to absorb nutrition again. So we help health all round with less mucus. So black pepper cuts the mucus. The other thing you can do in your diet to cut mucus is actually drink pomegranate juice as well. All right, so there's lots of things you can eat as well to support this process. But turmeric, black pepper, and even things like ginger really help with mucus, cutting mucus. It is a huge digestive tonic, black pepper, and that is why it is featured in Luraslim. It also helps with addiction. So this is something that people don't often mention, is that black pepper helps break patterns. And I'm going to say something really funny now. If you think about spices, when you get close to them, they make you sneeze. You're like, achoo, get away, okay? Achoo. They're fortifiers, they protect. So when you sneeze, you are protecting your immune system by sneezing out all sorts of things that don't belong inside your body. And black pepper does that essentially for the cells inside the body. It says, thus far no further, here's my boundary. And we need to understand that when we are changing patterns in our life to get back to health and create new patterns of happiness for ourselves, by using ingredients that support that on a cell level and on a physical level, we also help ourselves on an emotional level as well. So by eating certain things, we can change our emotional state. By supplementing ourselves with certain ingredients that have certain qualities and properties, we are helping our bodies get strong, okay, and updating our emotional state. So I hope that kind of gives you some insight. It's about boundaries. It's a stomachic. Black pepper helps the stomach digest more efficiently by cutting away mucus so that nutrition can be absorbed efficiently. And this word stomachic is another word you can write down, just like mental acuity or sharps. Stomachic is the word associated with digestion. If something's a stomachic, it supports digestion. And anything that supports digestion also supports the brain. The brain and the gut are connected. So when your stomach's working beautifully, your brain's working beautifully. When your brain is sharp, your stomach your whole gut is working more efficiently, because the brain sends communication to the gut. So we want a Luraslim capsule that's not just formulated to support excretion of toxins and get rid of water retention, so that you can sort of look thinner. You want to actually update your metabolic system, and you really want to help your brain send the right communication to the whole body to work more efficiently. Okay, so these things are important. One of the weirdest ingredients I've ever come across is grains of paradise, and it finds itself in this formulation as well. It's an unusual little thing that looks like a peppercorn. And it's similar in flavor to cardamom or coriander even. It's got a sort of a perfumey kind of taste. And this particular ingredient is an interesting one because it also creates productive heat in the body. And we want that. We want to create heat so that the body can start to use and energize its reserved and stored fat. It's also a mood lifter. And I like it. When you look up grains of paradise, the benefit says it's an aphrodisiac as well. So look, it's not a crazy aphrodisiac. You're not going to be, you know, climbing the walls. But what it does do is it lifts your mood. So when your mood is supported, you have more motivation. So it will support motivation. And we don't realize that in a product that suppresses appetite, we also still need to support the brain to be motivated to do things in our everyday life. You can't just sit on the couch and take a tablet and hope to lose weight. You still need motivation. And motivation is so important. Why? Because it creates the opportunities to do things. And when we do things, we support our self-esteem. And when we support our self-esteem, you know what our brain does? It gives us a reward. And that reward is something called dopamine. And dopamine is dope, okay? I mean, not literally dope, but dope comes from the word dopamine. And dopamine is the happy hormone. So we want more happy hormone because that's what it's about. When we have happy hormone that is being stimulated in our brain, we're more likely to be motivated to get up and do life. And that's also going to support our weight loss. All right. Another ingredient in here, we're on ingredient 14, it's chromium. Now, chromium is a simple mineral that helps suppress appetite, but it also improves insulin sensitivity. So if any of you are sitting on the fence of diabetes, chromium is a really good one to just help manage your blood sugars and also support lipid metabolism. Lipid is a word for fat, so fat metabolism inside the cells. Chromium finds itself in a lot of fat-burning products, but particularly in our Delight and in our Luraslim capsules. You need chromium because it just takes that feeling of hunger away, that appetite brings on. All right, the citrus extracts in here are grapefruit, sweet orange, and blood orange. It is so important to have citrus in your life. And now I go to the metaphor here. I know that I speak deep. This is a deep dive into the ingredients. And fruit are the joy of life, right? We wait all season for the fruit to be ripe, to pick it off the tree and eat it and enjoy it. So when we put citrus extracts into something like a Luraslim, there are two reasons we do it. One is because citrus is very high in limonene, and limonene is the food to make dopamine, which we just spoke about. And dopamine is happiness, right? And motivation to get things done. And we also know that citrus, all the citrus family, all the citrus family, lemon, orange, grapefruit, blood orange, mandarin, clementine, all of the citrus family help with the detox pathways in the body. So now you're losing all these toxins. You're losing all these free radicals by taking Luraslim. You're losing all this dead weight, and your body is now burdened with a lot of detoxing that needs to happen. And so we would say that citrus extracts actually mop up the mess. So when you go to a doctor often and you've got a problem, they'll give you something to kill the infection or to manage the inflammation, but they don't mop up the mess after the body's done the work to clean the body. So once the body's cleaned up a lot of the excess fat and waste and toxins that you've been burdened by and carrying around, you need something to mop up the mess. And citrus extracts get straight into your liver, your kidneys and your pancreas and your other organs and your spleen to really support that detox process. So two reasons there: dopamine, happiness, and also detox pathways. I have left one ingredient out, and it's the one synthetic ingredient on here. And I'm going to speak about that last for good reason, because all the other ingredients I spoke about now are natural. So when your people ask you, is Luraslim natural? Yes, it is natural. There is one ingredient in here called, and this is a strange word, pterostilbene. Pterostilbene, it starts with a P, okay, like a dinosaur name, okay? Pterostilbene is similar to resveratrol, and resveratrol is often found in red wine or in the skins of grapes. Even blueberries have a lot of resveratrol, But resveratrol doesn't last very long in the body. It lasts 10 minutes in the body as an antioxidant. It's hugely anti-aging. It will clean your skin. It's an anti-inflammatory. It's an amazing thing for the body. But pterostilbene is a superior version of the properties of resveratrol. So to just know it briefly is to understand that it helps with anti-aging, and it's a superior antioxidant for the body. So while you're cleaning up the body, you need a whole lot of antioxidants to protect oxidative damage that happens in the body. So oxidation is what your body does when there's a germ inside the body, or there's excess toxins that have accumulated because of all the junk food that you've eaten. And your body has to get inside a cell and oxidize all the bad things. And once they've oxidized the bad things, we have to clean out those cells. And antioxidants do that work to protect the cells from further damage. And in this way, they are hugely anti-aging. So we've covered a whole ton of ingredients. Oh, there is another one that I've left out. It's called, and you're going to have to forgive me for the pronunciation, it's called cocobutyrol teacrine. Cocobutyrol teacrine is actually found in a Chinese tea called kucha. Some of you might actually drink it. And it is a fat-burning, mood-boosting tea, usually, or found in this Chinese tea called kucha. And it helps with motivation, and it gives you energy without the shakes, So we all want energizers that don't make our body feel like it's wired. And these are your safe, natural food state ingredients that support a calm but energizing way in which we restore metabolism so that we can lose weight without those negative side effects associated with a lot of other fat-burning products on the market. So those are 15 ingredients, and I've whizzed through them, but we can always talk, and I can always give a summary sheet, like a cheat sheet with all the summaries on there so that you've got them and you can look at them in more depth if you'd like to. I'm going to jump over to the detox tea quickly. Okay, I'm looking at the time. Okay, so drink to shrink. Oh my goodness. So this blend of ingredients is just such a gentle, thoughtful, beautiful combination of ingredients. And I'm going to just run through them. You've got some vitamins in here. You've got things like vitamin A and vitamin C that have been accounted for. They're in very small quantity. You're really getting a caffeine-free herbal infusion from your drink to shrink. You know how to use drink to shrink. The instructions are on the back. You obviously steep it for a long time to get maximum yield. But let's just run through the 9 ingredients. There are 9 beautiful ingredients in drink to shrink. The first being persimmon leaf. Persimmons, they look like a tomato. They're beautiful, actually, big, juicy, kind of orange-looking tomato. And a persimmon leaf, the actual leaf, is rich in something called flavonoids. And flavonoids are antioxidants that reduce blood pressure and lower inflammation and cholesterol. Okay, so that's the first benefit of drink to shrink. It does assist blood pressure and lower inflammation, but it does not cure a chronic problem. It supports. So we're going to use words that are very compliant and very appropriate for our market, our new market. It boosts, it supports, it reduces. Okay, those words. Those are important words. Holy thistle is the second ingredient in this blend. And holy thistle was used anciently in times like the bubonic plague to help as an antibacterial. Why is it so important to manage bacteria when you're trying to lose weight? Well, because we've got a lot of bad bugs that are bad and a lot of good bugs that can also be bad in the gut, and some bad bugs that are actually good for us and some good bugs that are good for us. So that sounds really confusing, but we have good bad bugs, bad good bugs, bad bugs, and bad good bugs. And we need to manage our bacteria in our gut so that we can have optimal health. And holy thistle gets rid of the bad bacteria in your gut that shouldn't be there in the amounts that it finds itself. All right. It's a digestive tonic as well. Milk thistle helps soothe the stomach as you digest your food. So we learned a new word this evening. It's a stomachic. Milk thistle, not milk thistle, sorry, holy thistle. Milk thistle is another thing, good for the liver. We're not talking about that today. Holy thistle is a really good digestive tonic, so we can say it's a stomachic. Okay. Mulva leaf. Oh, last thing about holy thistle, if you've got indigestion, it's really good for indigestion. So a lot of people will say once they start Drink to Shrink, they don't have so much reflux and indigestion. All right, and it's the holy thistle doing that job. The next ingredient in Drink to Shrink is mulva leaf. Oh, and mulva leaf also improves digestion and absorption and excretion of toxins. So it helps. Why? Because it cuts mucus, a little bit like pepper and turmeric. It cuts the mucus away, and when there's less mucus lining your colon, you've got more cilia that are ready to take in nutrition, and you've also got the opportunity then to eliminate toxins because the mucus is not creating a little house for bad bugs and parasites. And the parasites and the bad bugs actually make you want to eat sugar and bad food because they're hungry. And when we can get rid of them, we can manage our appetite more efficiently. And that's exactly what mulva leaf does. It supports digestion by cleaning out the mucus in the colon, and therefore also helps with excretion of toxins. Okay. It also supports sleep. So some people sleep better with Drink to Shrink. Mulva leaf is partly responsible for that. Okay. It calms the body. It allows for sleep to be improved, and it supports your aging process. So it's anti-aging as well. So you're getting a whole lot of side benefits. We spoke a bit about side benefits earlier. Drink to Shrink is exactly that. It's not just about weight loss. It's about a systemic support. Marshmallow leaf is the next ingredient. Somebody said to me, does Drink to Shrink taste like marshmallow? Oh, wouldn't that be nice? That could be our new flavor. But marshmallow leaf doesn't taste like marshmallow, but it is a massive anti-inflammatory. So why an anti-inflammatory herb or plant is important in this blend is because when we are constipated, we are actually inflamed. When we have diarrhea, we are inflamed. When we have IBS or gut discomfort, we are inflamed. And inflammation is always associated with depression. So a lot of people using Drink to Shrink will start to feel a lot better emotionally as well, because their mood is lifted, because their gut's starting to work more efficiently. So these things are always points of conversation that you can chat to your teams about. You can start having those conversations, sharing those testimonials with one another, because mood and gut health are so connected. All right. Marshmallow leaf also helps with your urinary tract, actually, UTIs. So if you've got bladder issues, it will also support your health in that regard. So notice the word I'm using, support. It doesn't cure anything, it supports. Some people find it curative, but every human being is different. All right, the next ingredient is blessed thistle. There's a lot of thistles in this thing. Blessed thistle, also used anciently in the time of the bubonic plague, funny enough. It stimulates gastric acid and saliva production. Saliva is the first place we digest food and we take in nutrition. So blessed thistle supports gastric acid. We want acid because acid kills bacteria and parasites that don't belong in the body. When we take a Rennie's or a Tums or an antacid, we are creating a more alkaline environment, sure, for a minute in the body, but the body swings back and makes more acid to compensate for the alkaline tablet you've just taken. And with that compensation of more acid, your body is swinging again. And the parasites love that. They're like, oh, great, it's time to have a party. Okay, and we don't want that. So with an ingredient like blessed thistle that can support stomach acid production, we are also supporting our ability to knock back parasites and unwanted bacteria, and in so doing, help our body find middle again. All right. It's also an expectorant. This word expectorant comes up a lot. Expectorant just means it gets rid of mucus. So if you've got a chest problem, you might also find that Drink to Shrink has helped a lot of your chest congestion, because mucus in the chest and the nose, I don't know if you've ever heard this, it's an old wives' tale, but a stuffy nose is a stuffy bum. So if someone's always got a blocked nose, they're often constipated as well. Okay, so they struggle with dry stool. And those things are all connected. The body is so beautifully connected. And then another ingredient in here that you will recognize is papaya. Okay, it's not so advanced in its terminology. It's a pawpaw. We call it a pawpaw in South Africa, but papaya is an incredible ingredient because it has something in it called papain. And papain is basically an enzyme that supports the immune system, helps with blood pressure, helps your eyes have better health. And this is interesting. Why does it help your eyes? Because anything that helps your eyes is also helping your liver. When we clean our liver, we support our eye health. Eyes and liver are connected. Okay. So papaya or papain is rich in this enzyme that actually tells parasites that they're not welcome. So you can be sure that by drinking this, you're making it an unhappy environment for parasites to live in your body. Unwelcome parasites anyway. And then there's last three ingredients that are really important. These I saved them for last because they're probably why Drink to Shrink is a powerful tonic. There is ginger in this combination, and ginger we know creates productive heat in the body. Ginger is also a root like turmeric. Remember we spoke about turmeric in Luraslim? Root, anything that's a root keeps you on the planet, keeps you well and healthy because it creates productive heat in the body. And productive heat equals metabolism. Okay, a metabolism that works. So we want productive heat in the body. We don't want to be cold and wet and shivering because that is sickness. Hot and warm and glowing is health. So ginger is that fiery powdered root that gets into your body and creates a sense of cool. It cools the body. It's a hot spice that cools the body. So remember that. It's rich in antioxidants and it's a massive anti-inflammatory. And obviously it helps with headaches and weight loss as a result. So these are things that you need to remember, that root, anything root, turmeric and ginger are designed to ground and keep you here, which means that they add health benefit to you. So I'm simplifying it hugely, but that's a very important thing to remember, is that root oils root us to the planet. They root us to Lurra, they root us to the earth, which means that we are here still, doing well. Okay. Chamomile is a calmative, and we know that with mulva leaf and chamomile, we're sleeping better. Chamomile works on a deep level to take inflammation away from the brain and the nervous system. It works actually in the whole endocrine on the CB2 receptor, which is actually for pain and inflammation. And it also stabilizes blood sugar. So we've got a beautiful, beautiful tonic here. And my favorite ingredient in Drink to Shrink is myrrh. You've heard about myrrh. Myrrh, you've heard about gold, frankincense and myrrh from the wise men. You know, if you know the biblical story, myrrh is a special ingredient. It's actually a resin. It looks like a drop of honey that bleeds out of a tree. And myrrh is the blood of a tree. And because it's the blood of a tree, it helps our blood system. Nature is such a profound and wise thing because the clue is in the thing. If fruits are joyous, we eat fruits because they add joy to the system. They lift the spirit and they lift your mood. We spoke about citrus oils doing that. Myrrh is the blood of the tree, and so it also is the nervous system of the tree. So it helps our nerve system and our blood system clean its act. So when we're cleaner inside, we have cells that are more oxygenated, and with more oxygen, there's less congestion and more flow, more blood flow, less spasms in the stomach, and less ulcers as a result as well. So that's a powerful, powerful thing that myrrh does. It puts oxygen inside cells. It can literally raise you from the dead. I don't quote me. I'm being metaphorical, but that's definitely not something you must tell people because it's not compliant. But I'm telling you how fond I am of this ingredient. It's a really, really special ingredient. Okay, and myrrh's been used for centuries. It's quite bitter to the taste, but it is a powerful, powerful, tool in anti-inflammation and in indigestion. If you've got any kind of indigestion, you've got like heartburn, bloating, discomfort, myrrh is an ingredient that you go to first, and it's in Drink to Shrink's formula. So these are things I just wanted to share with you this evening. Both Luraslim capsules and Drink to Shrink formula are artful blends. They're masterful in their thinking, in the way that they've put these ingredients together for maximum benefit. Remember that you're not just selling a weight loss product, and you're not just using a weight loss product, you're using a product that supports the whole system. And that's what I wanted to share with you this evening. If you get one thing out of this, is that these are complex, very complex ingredients working beautifully together as stomatics to help with mental acuity, anti-aging, and weight loss at the end of the day. Okay, I will give you a cheat sheet. I will print it out and pop it on all the chats, and I'll obviously share that with you so that you've got a kind of quick read on each ingredient, what its hero quality is. Okay, I won't give all the detail, but I'll just give the hero quality. Last but not least, I want to end with some leadership points, just so that you can go forward and lead your teams and share some insight with those that you care about, and remember to model excellence to those that you care about in your teams. And one of the quotes that comes up again and again, you've probably heard it 100 times. It's by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he says, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." And we leave a trail together because we're more together than we are alone. So, I would like people to be able to ask questions. I'm definitely going to open the floor to have you ask questions about various things. But yes, I'd like us to just know that as a leader, you have great influence over others, and you need to be very careful about how you speak to others about product. You need to use compliant language, and when I say compliant, it means carefully chosen words, because you don't want to tell anybody that this could cure something that it might not. You want to be able to say, this particular product can support, can reduce, can encourage, can boost. You want to use certain words. I will also share a document with you that will help you with some of that language as you share information about product with others. That's a very important point. The other point that's important as a leader is that everything is figure-outable. So if you're struggling with anything, there is support around you. You can ask for help, okay? As a leader, sometimes we think we're alone and we don't know how to ask for help. You have upline, you have support, you have corporate, you have people who can help you. So reach out if there is anything that you might need, because leaders need to push the limits of belief to show others what is possible. We know this. And by doing that, we need to model what we are, a product of our product. We need to model how to do these daily hygienes. I call them health hygienes. When you wake up, what does your health hygiene look like? Hygiene is a routine. It doesn't just mean being clean. It's a way of saying, what is my daily health routine? And my daily health hygiene looks like this. I get up, I have a shower, I take a few deep breaths. I tell myself I have permission to breathe and have joy today. And then I start with products that support my body's functions. And you can model those things to your team. And as you lead other leaders, they will lead their leaders onto greatness. And so I just wanted to suggest or share with you that always behind every brilliant product, every brilliant product is a vision. And if you don't yet know what your vision is and what you're here to do in Lurra Life, using Lurra Life products, quickly think or take time, but think about what your vision is and what you intend to do for yourself, your family, and the market that you find yourself in, and your leaders and your team, and really acquaint yourself with that vision. Because under that vision come the products. The products are under the umbrella of your vision. They don't stand alone. A successful leader will share product because they have belief in it, but they also have belief in a bigger vision. And for Lurra Life, that's about having a great earth life, a fulfilling earth life. Lurra Life's vision is about empowering people to live a healthier lifestyle and to really take charge of their lives. Just to not look outside yourself for solutions all the time, but to also look inside yourself for solutions and recommit yourself to the discipline to show up consistently every day and honor your body. And by honoring your body, you're taking in good ingredients that support your system's functions. And that's a really powerful reminder, because we're living in an environment in the world where toxins are everywhere. People do not live healthy lifestyles, and they don't really know how to live healthy lifestyles. They don't even have them. They have no models of what health looks like. So each and every one of you can step up and be that model, not just for yourself and your families, but for those in the larger community you find yourself in as well. And you'll be surprised. People will come to you and say, what are you doing? What are you using at the moment? And you'll be able to say, this is what I'm doing and this is how I do it. And you know what I'm really fond of? There's an ingredient in here that I know supports my mood. It's citrus extracts. Or I know that I'm taking an ingredient like alpha GPC in Luraslim, and it helps my mental acuity, my sharps. It helps me think and focus and protects my brain while my body gets to work on losing excess weight. So I hope that that's been helpful for you this evening. It is a deep dive. It's a deep dive into each ingredient. We will definitely do a class on Lurra coffee and on O2 drops even. Many applications, lots of testimonials. There'll be opportunity for all of you to share. I'm going to open the floor now. Thank you, Felicia. And thank you, Bumi, for setting up the Zoom. Going forward, we'll have our own Zoom links as well for consistent, ongoing product training workshops. I'd just like to ask Felicia to let the others ask questions, if there are any questions.
Yes, definitely. Kendal, thank you so much. I learned things. You think you know something, and then you learn something new. So thank you so much. This has been so wonderful. I've seen some people typing some questions. So if anyone wants to unmute and ask, just go ahead and unmute yourself. Let me do something here so that
I can actually see some of the questions on the chat as well. I see a lot of the questions, like, can Luraslim help with belly fat only? I don't know about only. I think Luraslim helps the whole body. When we've got belly fat, do you know why you get belly fat? You get belly fat because you're in overwhelm. You're unable to digest your world's experience, and you get something called cortisol imbalance. And when your cortisol is imbalanced, your adrenals take strain. You get adrenal fatigue, and your body packs on weight around the kidneys to protect that organ. So the body's telling us, hey, this organ's under stress. Let me put some protection around that organ. And we get something called, a belly belt, that Benke belt, that belt of fat around our waist to protect our kidneys and our adrenals. So I don't believe that Luraslim will only target belly fat. It will target the whole metabolism, which will allow you to feel calmer. Remember, we spoke about L-Theanine? It calms the whole body down and will, in that regard, support your cortisol levels, and belly fat will naturally drop off. Any other questions?
When will Luraslim be available? Because I tried to order it yesterday.
It is available. Did you order it in the back office in the box, or did you?
Yes, I found it available as part of a package with other things, but I couldn't find it on its own because I just wanted it on its own.
You saw Biz in a Box. Yeah, Business in a Box is what you saw.
Yes, that's where it was available. Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I can double check with Malcolm in our office in South Africa and just double check that it's actually up and running on the back office, because it should be. I'll have a look. Okay. If you don't come right, I'm going to pop my number here in the chat so that you've got it. You all do. Most of you have my number. You can always just WhatsApp and check with me in the morning. Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I see somebody asked a question about breastfeeding moms, and Ian Bumi said they can take Lurra greens, I think an O2 drop. Are those for weight loss for breastfeeding moms?
Lurra greens and O2 drops. Anything that oxygenates the body will help the body find its own middle. So it will definitely, oxygen will help the body restore balance. Lurra greens are nutrition for the body. So anytime you're adding nutrition and oxygen to the body, you're supporting the body's ability to clean its organs and find its norm. So if you're out of balance, you're going to find norm. An active weight loss or aggressive weight loss program using Lurra greens and O2, I would say no, it's not an aggressive approach, no. It's a nutritional approach, which can always do good for a body that's trying to find middle, definitely. But if you're really wanting to target appetite and stimulate metabolism, your obvious go-to will be the Luraslim capsules, and obviously your drink to shrink. Okay, but breastfeeding, it's a little less safe to take Luraslim while you're breastfeeding. I would say there's some things in here that like the high caffeine. It's not too high, but caffeine is always a little bit tricky. You need to check with your doctor. Technically, this is a super healthy product, super safe product, but you always need to check with your doctor. Your doctor can go through those ingredients and go, for your health, knowing that person's health. This is the other thing, Cleopatra, is that every single human body has different health history and health profiles. So for most people, these products will be fine if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, but there are people who have sensitivities that their doctor needs to look at and go, oh, you can't take that. You're on a blood thinner. You can't take something else that helps your blood thin, for example. You know, it's like people who are on blood thinners shouldn't take aspirin or drink rooibos tea, bush tea, because it thins their blood, or even fish oils. They shouldn't have fish oils if they're on a blood thinner. And fish oils are super healthy, but it depends on that person's health. So yes, these are seriously healthy products. They're great for all kinds of benefits in the body, but that particular person must check with their doctor based on their history. Do you understand that?
Yeah. Thank you so much. And another hot question is people who are asking, is there anything that I can use to gain weight? I don't know can we use the reason of balance for some of the products, maybe like Lurra greens and O2 drops?
That's a great question. So weight loss, I would always look first to weight. If someone's losing a lot of weight, I would first ask two questions. Are they ill at the moment? If they're not ill,
no, it's just regular people who are wanting to get more weight, to have more weight.
To gain
probably
weight.
To gain weight.
This is unusual. I would always go to nutrition, and if somebody's rapidly losing weight or has not been able to gain weight, I would do a deworming program. I would look at parasites. So things like papaya, even though this suppresses appetite, well, not this, drink to shrink has got papaya in it, suppresses your appetite and knocks back parasites. You would go to a product like Lurra greens, put some nutrition back in, help the body find middle, and definitely do a deworming, because you might find that they're not gaining weight because they're full of parasites. Okay, that's just my feeling.
Now, I always say maybe you can take drink to shrink because it cleanses the body, and when it cleanses the body, then your body might function much better and you can be able to absorb nutrients.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And you know, we've discussed how the drink to shrink formula has things that are supportive of good bacteria being produced in the gut, and tell you bad bacteria and parasites that they're not welcome. They don't like myrrh. Parasites do not like myrrh. They do not like marshmallow. They do not like holy thistle. Okay, so this is a good blend.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kendal.
All right. I like your t-shirt, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I got it from my upliner in South Africa. Yeah, I'm in Zimbabwe.
Kendal, can you just say something about Delight, please? Delight.
Okay. So Delight is actually made from stevia, from deep-bittered stevia, and it has chromium in it as well. And chromium is a really good appetite suppressant. Remember, we spoke about it. It's a mineral, also found in lots of fat-burning products because it takes your appetite away. And chromium is, it's an important thing for the brain, so that you're not getting that message that you want to eat all the time. When you use Delight in your Lurra coffee or in anything actually, just to sweeten things up, you're getting the benefit of the stevia. And stevia is a profound plant, hey? Stevia kills all kinds of viruses, cleans up bacteria. It does a lot of good work to support the immune system. So you're getting that benefit, unlike your synthetic sweeteners and your alcohol sugars. Have you heard of xylitol? Anything with an ol on the end is made with alcohol. It's extracted using a process of alcohol. And those sugars are not as good for the body. So stevia is a nutrition. It's absolutely a nutrition for the cells, because it cleans the cells and helps with blood sugar stabilization. So a lot of people who are sitting on the fence of diabetes or have blood sugar issues, they're hyperglycemic, really benefit from stevia because it helps stabilize the ability of the cell to manage sugars. And then obviously the chromium in that product also helps knock back your appetite. So it's a good one to add to your Lurra coffee, your Lurra Fit coffee. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so very much. Yes.
Hi, Kendal. This is Peter from Lesotho. How are you doing?
Hello, Peter. Good.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask. Obviously, we don't have that option of ordering the Luraslim on our dashboard. What's the way forward with regards to that? Because a lot of the customers have been asking about the Luraslim, so we directly order it then from the Santon office. So that's becoming a slight challenge, for us, and we're hoping that it could maybe be added on our dashboard.
I'll definitely bring that up in a management meeting that I have tomorrow. I will ask Rochelle kindly what the status is on that, and I'll let you know. Okay, because yes, while you can order it and you can buy it in South Africa from our office, which is actually in Bryanston, in Hobart, Grove, you would then need to transport it to the various teams in the areas that you support in Lesotho and beyond. So yeah, I will ask if we can start sharing Luraslim across the borders. I definitely will bring that up. I've made a note of it. Okay, Peter, I'll let you know. You've got my number.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Kendal.
Yes.
Comfort is asking, is the Luraslim in the box and the one in the container the same?
Sorry, the Luraslim in the box and
the one in the container the same.
It keeps cutting out in the
container.
Okay. Which container are you talking about? She's consumed two containers.
Let me show you a picture. I believe that she was speaking.
Oh, okay. So our formulation, the formulation I spoke about is the new formulation. There are 1 or 2 differences in that ingredient list. You may well have a look at that, and please feel free take a photograph on the back of that one and send me a text, and we can discuss those ingredients if you want more intimate information about what each ingredient does. I'm happy to do that for you.
Felicia, is the one that you have the US one? Because the US one is different than the South Africa one.
It is.
Yes, it is.
So yes, the US is different than the Luraslim in South Africa.
Yeah, we spoke about that in the beginning, but yes, I'm happy to still speak to those ingredients. So feel free to send me a picture and I'll happily chat. I'll just send it in a text if you're interested.
And I think the question is being presented because some people may have seen the different, as people are promoting it in the box as well as. So I think that's why the question is raised. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Hi. I have another question. Hello. Hello.
I can hear it, but it's tough.
Not clear.
Let's see if yes, she's still here. Is there another
Felicia?
question? Hi.
Yes, Felicia. Hi. Okay, I wanted to find out, has anyone had experience with somebody who had dementia, who has used our products and it has helped them somehow?
No, I have not, but I have heard that yes, O2 I've heard has been helpful. I know that we have testimonies of these things in the BIT group. You guys are familiar with the BIT group. If not, we'll make sure that you know where it is so that you can get some of those testimonies as well. But as far as myself, I can't say that I have had that experience. And I think we have lost Kendal. So, Boomy, if you are available to do that as well. You know, guys,
The sound is a little bit shaky.
Yeah, background noise. Let me see. I think we lost Boomy as well. So, guys, I know that there are lots of questions. And it looks like because of work issues, we lost a couple people. Boomy is traveling in the mountains today. So it looks like we lost her and we have lost Kendal. But there is going to be plenty of time for other questions as well to address the question of the video and the recording. We have recorded this and Boomy will make sure that we get it uploaded and we will make an announcement where it can be found. So you guys can download it and use it as necessary. So Kendal, if you're still here in some way, shape, or form, thank you so very much. You all, your questions are amazing, very important, grateful. And this is such a good training. We will be back here again next Wednesday, as usual. Like we said at the top of the beginning, we're here every single Wednesday giving some product information and a business overview for new people. Everybody is welcome to invite their guests, potential prospects, for them to get some great information. So every Wednesday at the same time, we are here. And as Kendal said, there's going to be much more training available on the different products as well. So if anybody wants to ask a question that I can possibly answer, I will absolutely do my best. So feel free to go ahead, but shortly we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We've been going for over an hour. So is there another question that anyone has that I can do my very best to answer for you? All right. If not, we're going to go ahead and end it now. And I thank you guys again. Thank you for being here. Have an amazing rest of your night, you all, and the rest of the day to those of you here in the US. So God bless you all. Enjoy. Kudos.
Thank you.
Keep moving forward. Everybody unmute and let's say good night. And thank you to Kendal.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you.
And Kendal and everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Kendal.